We in the booth. We in the booth with Mr. Booth. Somebody is texting my phone. I can't read sideways. So they're cooked. I don't know what to tell them. Chair. You forgot your chair. Oh, dumb ass dude. Forgot his chair because he's a dumb ass dude. Long neck, giraffe built looking ass boy. I'm on his long neck ass. Boom. This is going to be going into week 8 SEC power rankings is what we got here. I got people texting me about cryptocurrency currently. That needs to be a bar in a song. I got people texting me about cryptocurrency currently.
That's like Kanye West shit, bro. Like, who wants to
Kanye West? What are you talking about?
Who wants to talk about cryptocurrency? Who wants to talk about popping perkies and killing people?
Oh my God, Kanye West don't even speak on crypto. I don't think
he speaks on weird stuff.
What's weird about that? You're investing in that, you nitwit. I know you throw that hat sideways just to piss all the people at my work off.
Yeah, but I wear it like this every day, no matter what.
Yeah, you do look like a moron a little bit.
Bro.
Alright, what's going on, YouTube?
You look like the first ever Tennessee volunteer, dude. You look like a fucking caveman.
I'll take that, babe. Run that. What's going on, YouTube? Is Mr. Booth in the booth with
Trent.
This dude already trying to get a peek at my list. So you don't worry, don't look at my shit. I ain't gonna look at yours. Don't look at mine. Going into week 8, right? We're going into week 8, right? Week 8, SEC power rankings. Updated our personal SEC power rankings. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. I've really worked on this list, so.
Yeah, it really hurt him last week when you guys said I had a better list than him. He had to.
It didn't hurt me. It's the first time you've done anything better than me in your whole life.
I'm better than you in everything.
Your whole life.
In everything.
What happened last night on the game?
I got a higher ACT score.
You got a smoke, boy.
I got a higher ACT score than you.
Okay, you can't even use that.
I'm better than you.
No.
I'm smarter than you.
Man got a 13.
Faster
Thought
than
he was going to UTK.
I applied.
I went to UCLA, bitch.
Oh my God. That's fucking
All right. At number 16, I've got Mississippi State.
Oh, that's what it is. It's because this. Get this off.
Got Mississippi State. Their offense showed up against Georgia.
We don't need to give notes on Mississippi State no more. They've been 16 the whole season.
Anyways, you don't have to. I'm trying to sound a little bit more educated.
Everybody knows they're 16, just like everybody knows Texas is 1.
Mississippi State is 16. Their offense showed up against Georgia. They put up 31 points in Athens. Yeah, defense looked horrible. Another loss, so they stayed at the very bottom of my list. Who you got at 16?
Mississippi State, because then Mississippi State.
You all right over here?
Mississippi State at 16.
At 15, I've got Auburn. Their turnover rate is insane, and it's costing them ball games. If they can fix that, I think they have a fighting chance next week against Mizzou, or this week, I guess. We'll see. Who you got at 15?
15, I got the Gators.
Florida.
I think they suck. I think they suck.
At 14, I've got Florida. Lost in overtime against a top 10 Tennessee team in Neyland. I think if they would have won that game, we'd have seen them move up a lot on this list. But they lost, and they have an absolute gauntlet of a schedule coming up. So good luck to the Florida Gators.
14, I got Auburn. They suck.
The Tigers.
New.
At 13.
Are they getting a new head coach next year or a new quarterback? They're getting something next year. They're supposed to be getting better next year.
Auburn?
I can't remember if it's a head coach. I think they just now got a head coach.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to. I think they're getting a really good quarterback next year.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think.
I don't keep up with enough to tell you yes or no.
I just heard down the grapevine.
At number 13, I've got Oklahoma. They had a lot of players out. Their offense couldn't put up any points on the board against Texas.
Not a single touchdown.
They couldn't put up any points against Texas' defense, and their defense couldn't stop Texas' offense from scoring. So, another loss. 13, I've got Oklahoma.
I think that's like a far drop. I had them 7 last week.
Really?
I don't know what you had them. But 13, I got Mizzou. Or I mean, they've already got exposed. Not that they're just going to continue to get exposed. They're not. They weren't a good team. They're not a good team.
Okay. At my 12, I've got Kentucky. Lost to Vandy. They also had a lot of offensive starters out, just like Oklahoma. But they couldn't keep up with Vandy. They were losing from the start to the end of the game. So another loss. Got Kentucky at 12.
For some reason, they started Oklahoma's backup quarterback over their starter. I was watching them. They said their starter was not hurt. They just didn't want him to play that game.
Yeah,
they wouldn't
Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, they said
they started the other dude
over him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's better. He's better. They learned that whenever they put him in against Tennessee.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, he's playing. I mean, they might have even got that field goal if they'd put Jackson Arnold in. They might have scored a big old goose egg.
12, I've got Arkansas.
Oh yeah, Arkansas. At 11, I've got South Carolina. If they could stop fumbling so much, they could be undefeated right now, I think, because their defense is good. But another loss on the road to Bama, so I got them at 11. You got to quit fumbling that ball, South Carolina.
11, I've got Kentucky. Lost to Vanderbilt. But Vanderbilt's not. I think Vanderbilt's not that bad. I think they're going to win
some more ball games, beating Bama and Kentucky back to back. I'd say they're going to bowl them at least, very least.
I think they're somebody to worry about.
Yeah, start worrying about them. If your team's on their schedule, start worrying about them.
But I got Kentucky at 11.
At 10, I've got Arkansas. They had a bye week this week, and I felt like 10 was the right spot to put them in. Big game coming up this week. They'll be hosting LSU at night, so we'll see how they do.
At 10, I've got Oklahoma. They're the worst team of all time.
How you feel after that game?
Dude, I was so happy that whole game, dude. I loved it.
I don't think nobody expected it to go like that. Like, y'all beat the dog shit out of them. Like, hell, we both took them to cover. What was it, 14 or 15?
14 and a half, but
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You got the dog shit beat out of them.
I think me personally, I think they got exposed. Because after their Tennessee game, everybody kind of thought that they was going to be all right. I think. Because, I mean, they held Tennessee to win within 10 points.
But they did have a lot of starters out against y'all.
That's all right. They suck. But, I mean, they held Tennessee to within 10 points. So, I feel like a lot of people were kind of hyping him up.
I seen some Oklahoma fan going crazy on TikTok. He's like, hell, we had backup quarterbacks going in, wide receiver. We didn't have nobody. All of our starters were fucking hurt. Our backups were hurt. He was going nuts. That shit was so funny. At 9, I've got Missouri. Why the hell they played at UMass still blows my mind. But they won, obviously. Got Auburn this week, so we'll see what happens. Tiger on Tiger action coming this Saturday. What the fuck are we doing, Missouri, playing at the University of Massachusetts? Okay.
We're at 9?
Yeah.
I've got Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
I think another team that's got exposed. I think I've got 3 back-to-back teams that have got exposed. And Ole Miss is the second one on my list that have gotten exposed.
That boy Jackson
They
Dart
cannot finish a ball game.
They
start out great. They look great first quarter. And they just continue to slow down until eventually fourth quarter. And we saw in overtime, they just look like they're dead out there. They can't finish the game. They can't. And Lane Kiffin, he needs to go to Florida or quit coaching football forever. Or go back to, like, middle school football.
And boy, Jackson Dart, he's in Anakin Skywalker mode.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
That interview after the game was crazy. At my 8, I've got Vandy. Another big win this week against Kentucky. They were like a 2-touchdown underdog and won. Was never losing at any point in this game. Who would have thought we'd have seen Vandy in the top 10 of a SEC power ranking?
They're here. I've had them top 10 the past 2 or 3 weeks. But anyway, we're at 8.
They're leading the SEC in third down conversions right now.
That's good. Good for Vandy.
Can't stop them. Yeah, who you got at
8? 8. And this is my third, not my final, 3 out of 4, but this is my third consecutive team that got exposed this weekend, and that's Tennessee. In their own home territory. I mean, you can say it's a rivalry and all this and that, but I mean, there's teams that, like Texas, who blew their rivals out of the water, and it was at a neutral site. Y'all had them at home. I mean, yeah, y'all beat them by 6, whatever. But I mean, come on now. I personally think after the Oklahoma and what we did to Oklahoma, and then watching y'all lose Arkansas, and then coming and watching what y'all did against Florida, I think y'all ain't the team that everybody made y'all out to be at the beginning of the season. That's all I got to say on that. Continue.
I ain't gonna comment on it. At 7, I've got Ole Miss. Dropped them out of my top 5. Took another loss in Death Valley, so had to drop them a few. You got to win out to make the college football playoffs. What it's looking like for Ole Miss. Good luck. You gotta. There's a few tough ass ball games on that schedule, so good luck, Ole Miss. I mean, I ain't hating on you. I'm just saying, like, all seriousness, good luck, because you're in the SEC. It's not easy.
Number 7.
If y'all play Vandy, pray.
They played Georgia. I looked at their schedule right after he said that. He was like, "We got to win out." I looked at their schedule and they got it's mostly, I think they can win a lot of them, but the only one I think they can really lose to is Georgia.
I know Georgia and Oklahoma's 2 on there.
I
I'm
think
not saying they're going to lose to Oklahoma. I'm just saying that's the 2. I know.
7, I've got South Carolina. Like he said, I think they can win way more ball games if they slow down the turnovers.
It's killing them.
They got a good defense. Yeah, number 7, I got South Carolina.
At 6, I've got Tennessee. Barely beat a horrible Florida team in overtime in Neyland. Thank God our defense kept fighting. Nico has to figure out whatever it is that's wrong with him fast. Squirrel White.
I know what's wrong with him. He's a volleyball player.
Squirrel White, you
And
have
a football
to learn
player.
how to catch a football again. You remembered how to last week, and we lost. You forgot again this week. I watched you. I was there. Watched you drop passes left and right. We got to figure something out there. That's all I got to say.
6, I've got Vandy. They beat Kentucky, who beat Ole Miss, and held Georgia to within 1 point. Wait, yeah. And they beat Alabama.
Indeed.
I think they're not a team to play around with. If they're on your team schedule, just hope y'all beat them.
They're like
It's
another
going to be
Vandy
very
right now.
embarrassing. Like what?
They're like another Vandy right now. Like they ain't got nothing to lose. They're just gonna try whatever, and they got a good team to. If they do try whatever, they could fuck around and beat you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's your 6, right?
Yeah.
All right. At my 5, I've got Texas. Now, with that being said, I'm just kidding. It's Texas A&M. They come off a bye week with a lot of momentum moving on the road against Mississippi State this week. I don't think they're going to have a problem against Mississippi State. I don't know if it's at home or if it's in Mississippi State, but a lot of momentum on that Texas A&M team. I think they'll go and get some shit done this week. Continue to look good. Continue to stay undefeated in the SEC.
Number 5. This is my last team that's got exposed, but they didn't drop back as much. They might even stay the same as they was last week. And that's Alabama. I personally think after the Vandy and how they played South Carolina and watching their head coach, what is it, Caleb DeBoer? Is that their name? Is that
Alabama's
the head coach's
head
name?
coach,
Yeah. Yeah, watching him sit there and laugh and say, I'm proud of these boys after a 2-point win against
Nick Saban
South
was
Carolina.
Crazy.
I
boy.
think there's got to be more losses coming on their schedule for him to sit there and say he's proud of them to beat South Carolina by 2 points, and it's the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's embarrassing.
Don't give a piss.
So I got them being exposed this week, but I didn't have them dropping as much because I mean there's just not a lot of teams you can put them behind really.
At my 4, I've got LSU. They're hot right now. They're on a good streak. Beat Ole Miss at home. Blake Baker seems to really have that defense dialed in after their first week loss against Southern Cal. Big games coming up for the Tigers, so we'll see how they do. Nussmeier looked good. Good job, LSU.
4, I've got Texas A&M. They've been playing good ball. I think they'll continue to. I think they'll roll through Mississippi State. I actually seen a thing today, and it was pretty wild. It was if both of them win out the SEC, all their SEC games for the rest of the season, and they both play in the last game of the season, one of them's obviously going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
But then it'll probably be a back-to-back Texas versus Texas A&M because they'll have the last game of the season and then the SEC championship. That's a possibility if they both win out in the SEC. That's very Texas versus Texas A&M back-to-back weeks.
You know, this is their first year. That coach, he come from Duke. He was the head coach of Duke last year, and now he's at Texas A&M. They fired Fisher, Jimbo Fisher, and now they got. Well, I bet you those fucking A&M fans are happy as hell right now.
Yeah.
Looking damn good, undefeated in the SEC. All right, my 3, I've got Bama. Hard fought win at home. Win's a win. They need to clean up some stuff on the defense, but they won. Win's a win. So I got them at 3.
3 I've got. Are you done with it?
Mm-hmm.
3 I've got LSU. After the loss early on in the season to USC, they've really bounced back, and to beat a team like Ole Miss in overtime, I think it was a really, really big win for them, and I think they're going to keep rolling full steam ahead. I think they're a pretty good team.
Yeah. At my 2, I've got Georgia. Only loss was to Bama, but they lost to Vandy, so I put Georgia in front of Bama. This was by far the hardest list that I've done. I mean, the SEC is just getting crazier and crazier. They won at home against Mississippi State. They only beat them by 10, but Carson Beck has to fix his turnover rates if Georgia's going to continue to win ball games. There's a team like Mississippi State shouldn't be putting 30-something points on you, especially not at home. They're not good.
Yeah, I got Georgia too. Also, I think they're just the second best team. I don't know.
My number 1, Texas. Only team left in the SEC that's undefeated. Huge win against their biggest rival. OU absolutely dominated. So they're at the top of my list, and they're going to stay there until they lose, and that's if they lose. I don't know if they will. We'll just have to find out and see. They're best-looking team in the SEC right now. There's argue with your mama if you don't agree. I don't know what else to tell you. I updated.
He finally came to his senses, y'all.
I updated the helmets too. I got y'all right there. 1, Georgia 2, man. I got it all.
Yeah, well, obviously I've got Texas 1 because we've been the number 1 team in the SEC.
I said if y'all beat Oklahoma,
year.
I'd put y'all number 1. Y'all beat the fucking brakes off of them. That was bad. Wasn't even a game from start to finish.
I really think. Like I said last week, I was more worried about Oklahoma than Georgia. And after that game, I don't see no way we lose to Georgia. I bet we beat them by. I would personally say 10 points, but I'm probably gonna take.
Well, don't say it. We're gonna do a preview and prediction video next. This
yeah, I
Thursday.
know, but like when I get to do the scale thing to move it, I'm probably gonna have them taking or covering 8 or 8.5.
10-4. Well, that was updated SEC rankings going into week 8, 7.
Yeah, going into week 8.
Going into week 8. This was in the booth with Mr. Booth and Trent. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's night, day, morning, whatever.